Hey guys, my name is Jack Bennett, and I want to show you guys about something that I've created. It's called a cell, and it is the model of an actual cell, an animal cell to be exact, of the two cells that I've been studying for a while, one of which is a plant cell, one of which is an animal cell. So if you want to see here, I will show you what the parts of the cell, what they, try to explain what they do, and show you how I've done it, and I will show you the little booklet that I've done, and I'll explain it. Anyway, so this is a cell, an animal cell, and as you can see, I've used different colored Play-Dohs, so some yellows, oranges, purples, greens, pinks, blues, etc., etc. And I have most of the core elements to an actual animal cell, and I'll explain what they do in just a moment. Anyways, over here I have a little booklet that I've written to explain how I've built it and what the components of the cell does. So like the organelles, and yeah. So first of all, to begin with, I didn't know what exactly I wanted to build with it. I first thought, well, Jello would be a good idea, but then again, that would like decay. It wouldn't be very good, and I had to bring it back to the refrigerator every night when I bring it back. So I thought, well, Play-Doh is very it's very easy to manipulate. You can make it into different shapes, like I said, manipulate it, and it's a very good material, and it's very easy to find. Like, you can just go to Dollarama and get like 5 packs of it for like $1. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about what the organelles do and how they function, etc., etc. So first of all, you have the nucleus. So the nucleus is like the brain of the cell, and it makes everything do what it does. Anyway, so it contains hereditary information and genetic makeup that controls the cellular growth and reproduction. So it basically just controls the cell, and so there's only one, I believe, one nucleus in every cell. So it's like the brain of the cell, much how we have a brain, and it controls what our actions are, what we do, how we act, etc., etc. And then right around the nucleus, you have both the endoplasmic reticulums, and there is a smooth and a rough. I'm going to speak about the smooth actually at the moment. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of carbohydrates and fats. It serves as a vesicle that transports a variety of things to various destinations. It helps detoxify certain things and assists with the contraction of muscle cells. So this is like when you are going to go like, oh, I'm going to do this, like bend your arm. You use muscles in your arm, and that is what the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is, or sorry, the smooth is the purpose of. Then you have the rough endoplasmic reticulum, helps create membranes as well as antibodies and insulin. The rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum usually interconnect and assist with the moving materials to other locations. So the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum get their names from each other because they function kind of similarly, and they're very common. They look a lot alike to each other. Although the rough endoplasmic reticulum gets its name rough because of a ribosome, and the ribosome is a tiny organelle occurring in great numbers in the cell cytoplasm, either freely in small clusters or attached to the outer surfaces of the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and functioning at the site of protein manufacture. So where you get all your protein in your body is from the rough endoplasmic reticulums in the cells that are contained in your body, your muscles, etc., etc. Then you have the cytoplasm, which is actually one of the biggest things in the actually probably is the biggest thing in the animal cell. It's the fluid area around of the cell, in the cell, that holds all of the other all the other organelles, in which nutrients are absorbed, transported, processed, and wastes are stored until proper disposal can be carried out. Also, then in swimming around in the cytoplasm is the vacuoles, which are usually green, and in my template or my model, it is green, as you can see, the green. Anyways, so the vacuole is actually a fluid-filled space in plants and animal cells that can store food and water. So they're kind of like a water bottle that would hold water, but it's for the cell. Anyways, it also isolates many foreign materials that might be harmful to the cell. So it's kind of like a bulletproof vest in a way that kind of guards the cell in a way from like different like things that are bad things that are trying to hurt the cell. It's like its guardian. It also maintains the cell's acidic internal pH and pressure within the cell walls. So, pretty important organelle if you ask me. Next, we have a lysosome, which is an organelle that breaks down large molecules within the cytoplasm and destroys damaged or worn out cells. So kind of like a garbage can, if you think it's kind of like a garbage can, and I believe you find more than one in a cell. That's why I've placed exactly 3 in my model, and then so they use their the function for the lysosome is to discard any destroys and discards basically any worn out cells and just gets rid of things that the cell doesn't need. Anyway, next is the cell membrane. This is like the cell wall, except the cell membrane is inside the cell wall in the plant cell, and the plant cell has both a cell wall and a cell membrane. I'm not sure if a cell wall is in a animal cell also, but I'm not 100% sure. But I understand that in the diagram or in the model that I have created, there is no cell wall. There is a cell membrane, and the cell structure in the plant and animal cells that covers the entire cell and acts as a gatekeeper. And as I've been learning, what it means by gatekeeper, it means that it brings in new molecules, like protein molecules that are outside, and I believe this is called it's a kind of like diffusion, but in a way it's not. Anyway, so it acts like a gatekeeper and controlling the movement of materials in and out of the cell. So that is used by protein things that are in the cell membrane, and it allows other molecules to get into the cell. And then we have the Golgi body, which I have used purple as, which is right here. And the Golgi body is an organelle in which protein molecules are stored and distributed that have been manufactured by the endoplasmic reticulum. So kind of like a bit like the vacuoles, but more. There's usually more of them. Well, like they're all aligned, like I've shown you in this. They're aligned and they're in 3 columns. Sorry. And they hold the protein molecules in as kind of vacuoles hold other molecules. Then we have the mitochondria, which is maybe one of the most important things in a cell across from the nucleus. The mitochondria being multiple, are organelles that provide the cells with energy through a process called respiration. It produces adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. In the essence, that the mitochondria are the cell's powerhouse. So the nucleus is the brain, and you have the mitochondria as the powerhouse. And then we have the microtubules, which are little kind of like little toothpicks that you find in cells. This is actually not part of what we have studied, so this is new. They are toothpicks that are found around the cell that function as a support structure for the cell. They are fibrous and hollow rods that also assist in keeping the shape as well as function as roots with other organelles can move. So pretty useful, and there's usually a lot of them in my model. There is 6, and but you can find them in other areas. They're not just they're not hugged beside vacuoles, etc., etc. They can be found around the cell. Then you have the cilia. The cilia actually, along with the flagellum, which is what I'm going to explain next, moves the cell around, and there is many cilia around the cell's membrane, which moves it along so that it can push the area around them, the environment surrounding the cell, and it can move the cell. So they're like the flagellum, but they're not found on all cells, because some cells don't need to move and don't need to push around the environment around them. So some don't need these cilia, and some don't need the flagellum. So let me get to the flagellum now. The flagellum is like a whip-like tail, so it's kind of like I've actually applied it to this. I'll show you the flagellum right here. There's the tail that you can see right there. It is a tail that is used to move around, kind of like how the cilia is used to move around for the cell, except it is much longer and it is whip-like. It's a whip-like tail, basically. And so that is all of the organelles that I have placed on my project, and I'll get on to why I picked the Play-Doh. And the Play-Doh was an easy choice once I figured out, to do Play-Doh, was because it's just so easy to use, and it's just so simple. So the model that I've created obviously is this, but if you can see, there's little tags coming out of the model, which are little flags that have little titles, or actually pointing to the organelles that I have put into the cell. And there are a bunch of them, like I said: nucleus, ribosome, Golgi body, etc., etc. The way I've made that was I used paper, tape, and toothpicks. I took the toothpick, for example, we'll use the vacuole. Actually, we'll use the cilia. So the cilia, right here, what I took is I took the paper and I taped it while it was on the toothpick, and I taped it right around the piece, and I can move it up and down as I would like, freely. And that is how I made all of the pointers on where all the things are. And then this I used to make this little booklet. I used obviously a computer and a printer, and I printed out the pages. Pretty easy. And yeah, so I had a lot of fun with making this project. I hope to have more, and I really hope I can do more like this, to be educated in the way that I have been for the past few days. It's been very fun, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video of me explaining how the cell kind of works and how I've made the cell model, and I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching.